Look at this nonsense. She's literally in my spot. I gotta be one of the biggest anti-gatekeepers ever in existence. What the frick is up, guys? I decided to make a video today about gatekeeping because I get a lot of comments saying, why aren't you gatekeeping? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you hiding this music from everybody? Before I get totally into it though, you must like and subscribe. Por favor, that would help me out a bunch, and click on the bell notification if you guys want to be notified whenever I post a video, which hasn't been often lately, but I'm doing my best. So yeah, let's get into the fat video. For those of you that don't know what gatekeeping is, let me just read out the definition from Google real quick. Gatekeeping, the activity of controlling and usually limiting general access to something. And I feel like whenever you're a younger person, you generally get into that type of mindset because you're like, hey, this is mine, don't touch it. Nowadays, I'm just a humongous anti-gatekeeper in terms of music. I want to share a bunch of music that I find with you guys. And you guys help me out too, man. Sometimes I get a bunch of band recommendations where I'm like, wow, definitely would have never found this band if it wasn't for the person commenting this. I feel like I've outgrown this so much to the point where it's like I can't really believe someone whenever they say that, but whenever people actually genuinely feel like they want to gatekeep music and just withhold all this information and amazing tunes to themselves, I kind of look at them as a little bit childish and just stupid sometimes. I mean, you do what you want, but there's so much technology out there and you can grow a band's fan base tremendously just from posting on TikTok or anywhere online and just showing love. That's what I started doing on TikTok, and I've made so many connections just from talking about a bunch of music that I mess with. For those of you who are just stumbling on my YouTube channel and don't know me from TikTok, which makes sense, I don't have that many followers. I started posting TikToks a couple years ago, and my main content was just grunge and 90s Seattle bands like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, you get it. And at the time, those were just humongous bands that led me into another door, which was 90s alternative. And I'll never forget that those are my roots, because it really was my roots in terms of new music and rock music in general. But as content kept going and going, things were going good, bunch of likes, bunch of followers, and I was just like, man, there's only so much you can talk about whenever you talk about these older bands, and there's just so many band members that died, and there's bands that are discontinued and just don't do anything anymore. Of course, it's cool to look back and be like, damn, this music was just so good, people don't understand, you know what I'm saying? But you get to a point where things get stale, and it kind of got stale to me, so I started looking at new bands that are performing in today's age. So I shifted content and started talking about all these newer bands, and one of the newer bands that I first got into was this band right next to me, and many of you know that, but if you don't, now you know. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, this is Hello Mary, it says right on the poster, and they are from New York. And just from finding that one band that was recommended to me, I found a whole scene in New York. I was like, damn, this music is awesome. Then I found scenes all over in different states like Florida, California, Delaware. No, I'm playing. I don't know any bands from Delaware, but if you do, comment down below. So this big snowball effect just happened, and I just started finding good music. And back then I was like, bro, there's no good bands anymore. Totally in that mindset. But the thing was, I wasn't even looking, bruh. I wasn't even looking at all. I wasn't trying. I wanted to hear Nirvana-like clones. I wanted to hear Alice in Chains-like clones, and that just was not available in today's age, and for good reason. Those bands are, iconic, and not saying that bands nowadays can't be iconic, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's just a different aura with older bands and gatekeeping music and just finding all these tunes. I'm like, how can I not spread the love? How can I not talk about these bands and the music? Talking about music online has been awesome, and I never really looked at it like I need to gain something from these bands. I want to be friends with these bands. What it comes down to is the fact that I love talking about music. I love talking about these bands that are around my age, and it's just cool to see that there's just different stories and different paths that all these bands go down towards, and try to create a big fan base, try to be popular, and just try to make good music at the same time. There's a bunch of good people within a bunch of bands that are performing nowadays and having big followings. And like I said, with older bands, there's some bands that don't even perform anymore, which, you know, sucks. But the newer bands are obviously pumping out new material and just newer stuff, so it always leaves you excited for the next possible song or album. You're totally in the moment, and that's just that extra kick of energy where it's like, man, I'm so pumped for whatever the band releases. I'm so pumped for whatever happens, what record label they sign to, whatever it is, man. I'm not just saying me, but anybody could talk about music online, bro. Like, you can literally pick up some headphones and connect it to your phone, talk about some music, put a cool background, post it on TikTok, just talk about the music that you like, and then a bunch of people are going to be like, dang, this dude's cool. Or people will be like, dang, I never heard of this band before. This is awesome. Thank you for putting me on. I love hearing those types of comments. Not because I like to get some insane power trip over like, yeah, I'm the guy you go to. Yeah, I'm the best. I find all these bands, so you better listen to me. No, thank you. I just talk about it. If you like it, you like it. Some people sometimes say, damn, this music sucks, but whatever, bruh. I can't please everybody, and I learned to accept that. Yeah, gatekeeping music has just been something I've totally outgrown, and a lot of people will outgrow in the future, hopefully. Imagine being 50 and being like, oh man, you'll never hear this band. It's my band. I think it's kind of stupid if you call yourself a fan and don't spread out the band that you're a fan of around so that the band could get bigger in some capacity, and you're just holding the band's music to yourself. What kind of fan are you? What kind of fan are you, man? That's not a fan. That's a selfish person. That's a very selfish person, and I don't know why you're doing that. Stop it. There's a bunch of good music out there, and it's always cool to find, even if it's not in the US. You know, there's bands in the UK, overseas, you know what I'm saying? And it's so cool to see the newer generation rise, and you're in the moment. I'm in the moment. I see it happening, and it's just one of the coolest things ever. All these bands that I'm seeing that I've followed for a while are getting big opportunities, and I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm not going to say that because, dude, it's always the music that really comes down to it, the popularity, whatever. I feel like I barely help in some way. People often say I do help them, but I feel like I don't really help that much, but I try my best. I give my best. I just listen, and I'm in the background just chilling, big chilling, and I talk about the music. That's so weird, but it's so fun. I hope all the bands that I see rising right now blow up and have careers, because I say this all the time, it's so hard to have a career in music. Like, bands don't make that much money. People know that, and you got to spread the money around, and there's people you got to pay, and so much goes into it. So we got to give these bands as much as we can, and hopefully all these bands have fantastic careers. Hopefully they perform on the biggest stages at every festival. Hell yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Stop gatekeeping music. That's all I really got to say, man. This is a really short video. I'm looking at it. I've only recorded for like 18 minutes, and usually it's about 40, but I'm trying to pump out these videos. I've really just been working a lot, and I'm tired. A lot of drywall. I might make a video about that. Let me know if you guys want to watch that. Probably not, but we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. Please, please, please spread the music. You got to keep talking about the music, otherwise it'll die, and that is not what we want. Hopefully you watched this video and stopped gatekeeping and started being a cool person, a decent person. Anyways, that's all I got. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Gatekeeping music should die.